What's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefe. I am back once again with another GhostCultMag.com live stream. It is the weekly ritual, your rock and metal news source, 365, 24/7. We never take a break. Actually, we do take breaks. I'm going to talk about that in a minute with the holidays coming up. But thanks for being back. I'm hanging out. It's Thursday night. It's time to do all the stuff. Little pop of the Liquid Death. Bury It Alive. One of the last few of these in existence. I'm super stoked to have one. How's everybody doing? As usual, the best experience for this show is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. I'm also hanging out on TikTok. If you guys want to join in the conversation, I will be dropping the tip menu soon if you want to feel tipsy and give us a tip. Workspace a little cluttered here today. That's better. I have a whole mess of shit here. But yeah, good to see you all. Glad to be back. This is our weekly show. This is what we do, why we do, how we do it. So let me send a quick post around. We'll do the damn thing. How's everybody doing? What is on your mind? The holidays are fast approaching, and it is wild. Wild times in the world, to say. Just absolute madness sometimes. But yeah, we're doing the thing. Feel free to hang out live and do the show. All right. Phil Witz is here. What's up, Phil? Rubber Band, man, welcome back. Thanks for all the support yesterday and hanging out and being part of that conversation yesterday. That was a lot of fun on the Glacial Musical Podcast Live. Let's get on with the show. We do all the things. Kind of cool. I love that Instagram now has the correct view, at least, the correct orientation. It surely is, makes things a little easier. Joey Marquez is also here. What's up, Joey? Good to see you. So, just a little programming note. So we go live usually on Thursdays, and I consider it the weekend show. Next week with the holiday, I'm going to go live on Wednesday. I'm sure people are traveling, peeling off, getting out of work early, but I'm going to go live Wednesday afternoon on the early side, not go live on Thursday or Friday. I am going to try to do Record Store Day Black Friday, so I might make some social posts. There'll be posts on Thanksgiving Day. We have a whole crew in Europe that operates. It's not a holiday for them, so we'll probably have some light news and some social posts that whole weekend. But I'm probably gonna low key it, spend with my girlfriend's family, and it's been a time in life, so I certainly have earned some time off. Jay Outlaw's here. What's up, Jay? Welcome back. Super fun time listening to the Zoth interview. Thank you. Great band. Really great band. Thanks so much, man, Rubber Band, man. Again, I said this last week. We don't get a lot of validation. I do this because I played in bands for a long time. I love music. I love metal. And, the number one thing for me is to keep supporting and uplifting bands. To do that, I have to sometimes write about bands I don't care for, that are kind of mainstreamy and not for me. There's plenty of mainstream bands I also do love, but I think it's important to be in this for the right reasons. It's certainly not to get rich. It's because I love it. That's why I'm so driven. That's why I do what I do. Like-minded people that have come to us are the same, just like us. They do what they do for the same reason. So that's why we have a staff of we started all over the world. And doing the thing. I texted my partner instead of sending it to a group. Forward works, bro. Anyway, so that's why I do what I do. Thanks so much, Rubber Man. I really appreciate it. Anybody that kind of digs what we do, I'm just very thankful to be in a position to do what I do. Again, my life is kind of like Almost Famous, the movie. You never make a lot of money, but you get free records from the record companies, and you might get a little bit of access that sometimes might make you feel good. which I'm all for. Anywho, moving along. Let's do the announcements. We always start with the announcements. Going to keep it brief this week because I got things to do. Today is the Transgender Day of Remembrance. I live in San Francisco. I have a ton of friends in the trans community. And I don't ever let this day go by without, a sincere, appreciation of the struggle and support of all my friends and friends that we've lost as a result of, just trying to live and exist and be alive and be themselves. And if this kind of offends you or, you have some fucking take on this, it's not valid to me. Nobody who's living their life, their best life as a trans person is hurting your heteronormative life, and you can get fucked. But anyway, almost made it to 7 minutes without saying that word. Not a whole lot on the death notices today, but I did want to mention that Mark Greenberg, who was the longtime drummer of Dickie Betts, formerly of the Allman Brothers, and his band Great Southern. He passed away. He's been unwell for a long time, apparently. Really sucks. A really well-liked and loved person. So yeah, good times. Sad that he passed away, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I don't think a lot of people are talking about this, folks. Anywho, we are running a brand new giveaway. If you are in the tri-state area or will be in the tri-state area in early December, you can win tickets to see, God forbid, one pair of tickets. We're homies with them. The co-owner of Ghost Cult, Omar, is the drum tech for Corey Pierce, and God forbid put together this like Titans of Metalcore mini tour where each band is going to headline a show. So God forbid is headlining Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Monarch. Darkest Hour is headlining, I believe, in their home base of Richmond, Virginia, or near the DC area. And then Bleeding Through is headlining a show, I think, elsewhere in the Southeast. So pretty fucking rad. Nora is also on this show in Brooklyn. Just absolutely beast mode show. We'll probably be covering the show also in the tour somewhere. You can enter to win, Rubber Band Man when you're done watching this live stream. It's one of our top posts on IG. I should go pin it. Just one, happy birthday to Kirk Hammett, who turned 63 yesterday, or actually Tuesday, the 18th. Metallica loves November. So kicking off our little segment on metal history, albums released this week in metal include 2 Metallica albums. The second to comeback album of their last 3, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, pretty great. No clipping or shitty production problems, and pretty great songwriting overall. Kind of led us to the era we're in now with 72 seasons, going on its 4th year of touring, and the much maligned and deservedly so Reload. We know there's a Load and Reload box set right now. Waiting to see what else Metallica has up their sleeve. They just finished their tour in New Zealand and Australia with Evanescence, and I think they have one more show in Dubai or the Middle East somewhere, and then they're kind of done for the year unless they do a surprise thing. I haven't heard if they're doing their charity show this year or not. It's kind of late to announce it if they are. Other bands celebrating an album anniversary this past week include Asphyx. This is a killer death metal album. Slayer Live Undead. Slayer live album, pretty much like a Slayer any other album, but still pretty damn cool. Let's see. Oh, I'm back. Making sure the TikTokers are still watching me. Good to see you. Also Dark Tranquility. This was a solid one from a while back now. Korn Issues. Is anybody old enough to remember when Issues came out from Korn and they did a fan contest for the album cover, and this was the winner, and they went with this, and then they put out these like plushy beat up dolls with the one button eye and one eye missing. I'd love to get one of those if anyone can find them for not arm and a leg on eBay or something. But yeah. Strange confession. I have a strange amount of plushies and toys and things of the music realm, including I have this one of my most treasured. Actually, here's a Korn. I think this was for one of the more recent Korn albums. This is like a Korn stress ball that you squeeze, and it's also in the shape of the hand covering the face. And then here's just a cool Funko of me that my friends made me. Look at me without the hat. Bald, beard, microphone, beer can. I don't drink too much beer anymore, unfortunately. But anyway, I have an abundance of these things. Tell me who else is out there collecting toys and stuff and gadgets and things. Another album. This is probably going to be the very last good album by Obscura because Stefan has kind of screwed the pooch on this band. Also, Amon Amarth. This was a pretty badass album from 23 years ago. Cavalera Conspiracy Psychosis. You know, it's kind of interesting that they kind of transformed into the kind of hits of Sepultura with the Cavalera brothers, obviously re-recording the classic early Sepulturas that are poorly produced. You know, they were meant to be poorly produced, death and black metal, black and death metal. But I really like the Cavalera Conspiracy records, and I kind of want them to come back and play some of that material again. But this is a pretty solid record that might have got overlooked. This is 2017 Psychosis. Pretty good record. Once again, let me drop the tip menu. If you guys are feeling tipsy, we could always use some support. Obviously, you can get to be a real one. You can just give us a general tip for $3. You can buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. We take Venmo, we take PayPal, we take Cash App, all the things. But yeah, do all the things. Let's see. Let's see what else. There's our Cash App in case you're curious. All right, this is pretty amazing. I'm not the most like jingoistic, patriotic person ever, but I love this thing. I found this on the internet. Remember when 9/11 happened? Steve Buscemi went down. He used to be a fireman, right, before he made it as an actor. And even there were years when he was already a working actor in movies, and he didn't do too well. So in between working, he was a fireman at his, down in the West Village. He literally put on his uniform and volunteered to work like a week or two of 12-hour shifts searching through the rubble of the towers in 9/11 as a fireman. He never asked for credit for it. He never told people to, bow and genuflect him. He just served his country and served his community, which is an absolutely baller thing to do. That's actual patriotism, not like wearing a pin or being a fascist or anything. Just saying. I'm just saying. We need more Steve Buscemi's. All right. Features this week at Ghost Cult, and I'll try to whip through this quickly. Every Monday, we've been going live for a short live stream every Monday to announce more bands for the Mojave Experience. The last 2 bands will be revealed this Monday, along with 2 last bands, and the full poster, I believe, is coming right after this. Tickets are on sale now. It's going to be about 1,000 people at Joshua Tree, March 20th and 21st. An insanely sick lineup of bands already. And we're going to do more integrations and things with this festival as we get closer. And I am going to cover the festival, possibly with a little team from Ghost Cult. So I'm really excited about it. I did a live stream the other day reviewing the lineups of Hellfest and Rockville. If you like this kind of content, let me know. I'll do more of it. I probably will do at least 1 live stream next week, possibly 2. I am unsure. We shall see. At least 1 on something else. I have some good ideas already. Ran our new interview with Chuck Billy of Testament. I've been very lucky to interview Chuck Billy multiple times in my career. The brand new Testament album, Parabellum, is out now. And great album, great interview with Chuck. I caught Chuck right after he hit 18 holes on the golf course in the Bay Area near where I live. And we got talking on a Saturday afternoon. And Chuck is just wonderful, man. And Testament, this is one of their best records, I got to be honest with you. It's so strong and so killer. Thrash, progressive thrash, blackened thrash metal, maybe a little bit of death metal. Kind of reminds me a lot of Demonic, if you remember that record, and The Gathering, like vibes of The Gathering, which was killer. Paradise Lost interview ran earlier in the week. My new interview with Nick Holmes. We talked about their whole career, their new album Ascension, also a Nuclear Blast record, just like the Testament record, and talked to Nick about Bloodbath and his lyrics and other things. Thanks so much, man, Rubber Band Man. I appreciate you. And also, just from last week, in case you missed it, we've had big interviews recently with Soulfly and Typo Negative guys, and so many killer Evoking, so many killer metal interviews and some punk ones too. And we have a whole bunch of stuff coming up still before the end of the year, a whole bunch of new interviews. So stay tuned for more stuff. And not just my face, you're going to see other people popping up in there that help out with the interviews too, including my partner. Also, just recently, exclusive to our podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, I interviewed James Kent of Perturbator. He's French, lives in England, and he makes basically synthwave inspired by black metal. And his new album's a banger, Age of Aquarius, and really fantastic stuff. Also, recently interviewed my colleague at ghostcultmag.com and the glacially musical Don Delamont. His new album, Dancing on My Father's Grave and Other Stories, is out now. He's got a single on there, The Hearse They Rode In On, featuring Marissa Nadler, who is the incredible dark folk and Americana artist. So I'm really proud of my buddy Don. And in addition to that, Don and I are the co-hosts of the Glacially Musical podcast. We did the live stream yesterday. You were part of Rubber Band Man. And yeah, we did Glacially Musical. This is a new image by Don. We're still trying to get a sort of standalone image for these other pods. But Nick, our host, got the new David Gilmour live album box set, the concerts for the Luck and Strange album. Don actually went to one of them. I couldn't get to go. It was last fall. And so now this live album box set is out. Nick unboxes it, goes through the whole thing, and then we deep dive the set list. We compare it to other Dave Gilmour live albums, compare it to other members of Pink Floyd and their live stuff, as well as past albums and live sets by Floyd and David, and what the future is for David, if he's going to actually follow through. It seems like he's working on another new album right now. All right, that's all that. I will put myself back on the screen. Hello, I'm back. Hello from the gutter. All right, we always start the news rundown with metal festivals. So real fast, let's go through some metal festivals that got announced this week. Well, Eindhoven Metal Meeting is coming up in a few weeks. We are looking to cover it again in the ancestral home of Ghost Cult Tilburg in the Netherlands, right near, about an hour and a half south of Tilburg is where we were founded. It's the home of Roadburn. Eindhoven is obviously Eindhoven Metal Meeting is in Eindhoven, a little west, and great country. I was very fortunate to go visit it, go cover Roadburn. We still have many Dutchies as friends who we love so much. Eindhoven Metal Meeting is badass. Hellfest is full of bangers. We talked about this on the live stream the other night. Pretty damn great lineup. Hellfest always does a great job. That is in Clisson, France, right outside of Paris. Also, Welcome to Rockville got announced. Not too many surprises. Not surprises. That's not great English, but Rockville features Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters. My Chem was already announced, and Bring Me the Horizon, who are also on Hellfest. They seem to be everywhere. Other big bands playing at Rockville include Turnstile, A Day to Remember in their hometown, Ice Nine Kills, Lorna Shore, Simple Plan, Slaughter to Prevail, Deathclaw, Zack Sabbath, and Suicidal Tendencies, Cradle of Filth, Seven Dust, Static X, and more. So it's a really great lineup. Danny Wimmer festivals always do a fantastic job of the festivals. We still have to learn about Incarceration is coming, and I know Aftershock put out a video today recapping last year's Aftershock, so I think they're going to have some new stuff soon. The Wine Militia is here on TikTok. What's up, the Wine Militia? Also, Download Festival, 3 exclusive UK headliners, down to a 3-day festival from the 4. Limp Bizkit with a rare UK headline show. Guns N' Roses doing all over Europe next summer. Still waiting. We'll talk about them for a Guns N' Roses US tour date announcement. I believe we're getting one finally. And then Linkin Park. And a bunch of other bands. So pretty killer. This looks amazing. I saw this. I was like, holy cow. This looks so good. This is Bangers Open Air in Brazil. The first show of the year for Fear Factory. They announced this, but here's your headliners. Ginger, which I think is their first headline festival date ever in the world. Ginger, In Flames, Black Label Society, and Killswitch Engage. Also, let's see, Fear Factory, Evergrey, Tankard, and Within Temptation, Smith Kotzen, Winger, Amaranth, Nevermore in one of their upcoming. So this is in April. This looks pretty damn great, I gotta say. Big Ginger fan here. We'll see where their album does in our Album of the Year poll coming soon. This looks really cool. This is, not my preferred genre of music, the Hinterland Fest, but Cat's Eye, Lord, Mumford & Sons, and Cali Ukes. Muna's a great band. I've seen some of these artists at different festivals, and even though, Wet Leg is awesome, so some Porchlight, some of these are fun artists, and maybe not your most metal thing ever. In St. Charles, Iowa, which I think is like a resort town. It's like the resort part of Iowa. Let's see what else. I squeeze that can a little lighter and not so tight. Ripple Music, again, I'm probably going to this in a couple of weeks at Bottom of the Hill here in San Francisco, headlined by Fireball Ministry, and I fucking love that band so much. Lovers Fest, this also looks really cool. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is a one-day festival in Nashville by Silent Planet, Callous Dow Boys, From Joy, Cat's Claw, and Levi the Poet. They might add some more bands, but really cool, like a one-day, not just a concert, but like a one-day thing. It might be all ages, too. I'm not sure. Kind of fun. Also, Inferno Festival has added a bunch more bands for this spring in Norway, headlined by Mayhem, Deicide, and Enslaved. Mayhem and Enslaved are two of my favorites. Deicide, always solid. Their last record was great. Milwaukee Metal Fest has officially moved their weekend to June to get a specific headliner. I believe announcements are going to happen very soon with pre-sales soon. This also looked really fun. This is an all-day festival. This is Ballads and Breakdowns. A very emo Avenida Guadalupe Association presents production in San Antonio, February 7th. Norma Jean, Drop Dead Gorgeous, reunited. Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, unplugged. Being is an Ocean, great band. Have Mercy, He is Legend. Strawberry Girls, I love the black metal logo by Strawberry Girls. Enthronement, Good Terms, Sink In, Haunter, Kawaii AF, and a bunch of others. Okay. Not too shabby. What else? Space Echo Festival, looks like we're going to be covering this also. Just the first announcement was killer. Failure, who you know how much I love that band. And again, we just ran our interview with Ken. Failure, Baroness, Trail of the Dead, Torch, Shiner. I think that's Torch's first American show back since they reunited. And again, they're not going to, do new whole tours, but I think you might get to see them here and there. I really would love to see Torch again. All right, that's all the festivals. We'll have more next week on festivals. Now, a quick rundown of some concerts that got announced. Deftones have announced Australia, New Zealand tour for their brand new album, Private Music. Again, all these big bands. We're going to see who reigns supreme for our Album of the Year. Our vote is coming soon. Our live stream will be coming in about 2 weeks with the whole cast of characters from Ghost Cult. Very excited. More Deftones next year. And maybe not a long break till the next record either, because it seems like, it only like maybe a 2 or 3 year wait for another Deftones record. Angel Dust announced a massive tour along with a brand new album. They are taking a bunch of hardcore bands with them. So when you get these bands like Turnstile and Angel Dust and Scowl that kind of get bigger, they're still reaching back to the underground to bring bands with them like Jive Bomb and Mind Force and things like that. So, hardcore is having an absolute time right now, a whole moment. Again, the God Forbid shows are coming up soon. My buddy Omar Cordy made this reminiscent of Public Enemies. It takes a nation of millions. Great, like the Public Enemy classic logo. Great flyer he made here. God Forbid, Darkest Hour, Bleeding Through, and Nora. What a 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, more dates added to Iron Maiden. Still not Anthrax on the entire tour. Anthrax at the beginning and at the end. I got to find out how I can get to see them. Ice Nine Kills is about to do their Silver Scream Con UK for the first time or second time, and they have a mini UK tour coming up with Creeper and The Devil Wears Prada. We might try to cover that. Hit up one of my photogs about this. This looks cool. Cult and Culture is putting out Cult and Culture is from 31G, Justin Pearson from Dead Cross and The Locust and a bunch of other bands. Planet B, Satanic Planet, and that label rules, and I often buy a lot of stuff from them. And they have a podcast called Culture, which you should listen to. And now they are having a record release party for their new record that's coming out. So this is kind of badass with some of those bands at Kindred in San Diego coming up soon. This is also cool. I love seeing the use of the old school flyer types coming out from bands. So this is Hellfest and Overcome Fest present Path of Resistance, Moral Law, Fading Signal, One by One, and End of Your Rope. Saturday, January 24th, doors at 6, show at 7 at Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So super cool to see these one-off little shows popping up. Also, this also looks great. Gosh, Street Brutality 2026, Shattered Realm co-headlining with Death Before Dishonor. Oh, it's going to be a lot of teeth on the ground after that show. Oh my God, Death Before Dishonor is one of the best bands live. Such a brutal band. I was trying to go to this tonight, but it's sold out. Roddy Bottom, I'm a huge Faith No More fan, and Roddy Bottom just put his memoir out, The Royal We. And tonight is his final in-person book signing and sort of book reading one-on-one panel at City Lights, the infamous City Lights. If you know who the Beat Poets are, City Lights is their home base here in San Francisco. It sold out quick. I have a book on order coming to me, and looking forward to that. Could not go to the Q&A. And Roddy, again, has sort of asserted that Faith No More is probably not coming back, which totally blows. What are you going to do? Not much you can do. Svalbard is on tour right now, one of their last bunch of dates of their career. They are breaking up in 2026. I might have to go to Toronto for that Prepare the Ground festival to see them. I have never seen them. Killer blackened death metal band from the UK. Great band. I'm so bummed. I have an interview on the channel with Serena Cherry. You might like to check out Rubber Band Man. Not only she's just brilliant, she has a blog about roller coasters. She's gone to roller coasters all over the world. She writes a gaming column. She's a game enthusiast and tester and a journalist herself. Really great. Speaking of cancellations, Dogma has canceled their entire, or they've had to be. Their tour was canceled without their, anything. This situation is so convoluted and fucked up. I was going to do a live stream on it. I didn't see a lot of interest in it, but Dogma had their tour canceled by the promoter in Australia because basically since the album came out and the band started touring, the entire lineup has been run through by other, wiped out by the manager guy. I think it's Eric DeLeo. And they were like, we want to bring you the band you paid to go see, not some other band of people we didn't get. So anyway, wild. Shit is wild. All right, we are halfway through the show. Just a reminder, if you want to drop us a tip, we appreciate it. Kind of like when I host karaoke every Sunday, I live on those tips. That's my record. My tip collection is behind me on the bed here. Just a quick reminder, one of our affiliate partners is Fable Beard. If you want to have a dope looking beard like I do, look at this gorgeous thing. You need to get Fable Beard products, all natural, made by human beings with love, not too expensive, shipped to you, awesome. And they are having huge Black Friday sales. Lost Wax Museum's here. What's up? We have a link in our description. If you want to get your hookup like I did, you get $10 off your first order. I get free gift cards for beard products. Win-win. And I have used the beard butter, and I'm getting beard balm and oil in the mail, and shampoos and washes, and all kinds of things. Have a mighty beard, not a wimpy beard. If you see ads on our website at ghostcultmag.com, that is from Lamb Goat, the meaner version of Ghost Cult. The Lamb Goat ad network includes a bunch of websites. Garcia, what's up? Sif is here. Chris has passed by. Weeb is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. If you're here for Rock and Metal News, you came to the right place. And also, again, except for TikTok, we are bringing this show to you via the magic of StreamYard. If you want to stream like we do, check out the link in our description. And with that out of the way, let's finish the rest of the show. We're on all the socials. We have a newsletter. We're going to have more giveaways by the end of the year. We're giving away those God Forbid tickets. We have another giveaway planned for December. I'm talking to a couple of book authors about maybe giving some books away or a bundle of books. Should be pretty fire. Slipknot, this is the big story of the week. Slipknot, after months and months of rumors, has sold a stake in their early album publishing, basically everything before now, to Harbor Equity Partners, basically a venture capital company. We're on Discord. I think it automatically posts Rubber Band Man. I don't really, it's like only so many hours in the day, and I'm managing all these things on top of a full-time job in my life with my girlfriend and other things. But we have Discord. Our link tree gets updated every single day with the most important big stories. We post on socials all the time. We're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know how it is. And we have a weekly newsletter that kind of recaps the whole week. This show, our New Music Friday preview, everything else. So Slipknot sold a stake. I got asked by a friend of mine today if I thought that, do all the members get that money? Since 2003, so 22 years, Slipknot has been basically owned by Slipknot Incorporated. Every band that's at a major level has like a corporation that manages the band's affairs. And Slipknot Incorporated is basically Clown Corey and Corey Brennan and 5B Management. The band made that agreement in 2003 because Clown and Corey probably felt like they were doing all the work of the band, even if they hadn't done all the songwriting, the two of them. And the rest of the band took it because it was more money on a regular basis as opposed to future rights and royalties. I do believe anybody that wrote and recorded on those early Slipknot records, especially those first three that were more of a collaborative effort, those guys are all going to get a piece of that 120 million. Now, are they going to get the same piece? Probably not, which may cause more problems in the future. We already know they had to settle with Chris Fenn finally this year, and Craig Jones retired, and Sid the Kid is probably going to retire at some point now. We'll see. But Slipknot's going to Slipknot until they can't Slipknot anymore. Probably about 10 more years or less. We'll see. Thanks, JJ. Appreciate you. I am slaying. So yeah, Slipknot sold the rights to their music, not their future music. Hello, Ministry of Cult. We're also a cult. How are you doing? Soundgarden got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2 weeks ago, and now a lot of press and interviews the band did around then is coming out. So a big interview by Alison Hagendorf, the big music influencer. She's the head of Apple Music, and she interviewed the band, the surviving members of the band, including Hiro Yamamoto, their original bass player, and they are 90% done with the final Soundgarden album with Chris Cornell's music on it, his writing and his singing. I believe this is going to come out for next year. I believe other things are in the works in the future for Chris Cornell releases, like a solo release, unplugged things, but I'm glad that the families are all in agreement now and Chris's legacy can live on and this final Soundgarden record can come out because we need to hear it. Really great. Also, Ulver, one of my favorite bands of all time. Speaking of black metal, they're not so black metal anymore. Started out as second wave black metal, and they went through a bunch of changes. The last 10 years, they've been kind of like industrial metal, Depeche Mode, romantic metal, kind of like a better version of him. And now they've released their brand new single, The Weeping Stone, and their new album Neverland is coming out on their record label House of Mythology in February, and they're moving into kind of an instrumental ambient thing that is away from the style they did before. So I'm here for it. I'm always here for Ulver. I love them so much. I can't get enough. Also, Converge announced a new album, dropped a new song. Of course, it was punishing. Of course, it was great. So next year will be a big year for Converge. We knew this. They've been teasing this for the whole year that they had finished the record and it was coming. Every Converge album is a journey. Great fucking band. I remember seeing Converge. One of my first trips ever to Boston, I saw Converge at like a VFW with 20 other people. And then like a couple of years later, they were touring, opening for huge bands like Slayer. Megadeth dropped a new single last week, I Don't Care. A lot of new music is coming out right now. I know Lamb of God has a new song coming tomorrow, another new one, maybe an album announcement. We'll see. And I don't know. I feel like these Megadeth artworks are very AI, but like the song is solid. It's not spectacular. It's got great solos and some fun lyrics. It's very punky, which I'm not mad at, but I'm just hoping. I have very high hopes for this last Megadeth record. I hope the only really great song is not Tipping Point and the Metallica cover. Vows is a killer band that I love. Hey, Stormland is here. I didn't even know you were here, bro. You were disappointed when you learned I Don't Care wasn't an obituary cover. Exactly. I don't care. I had that videotape with a Christian woman and I Don't Care and Dog Eat Dog on it. I don't know if I just dated myself about how old I am. Stormlane, good to see you, buddy. How are you? How's your family? How's everybody? I hope you're well. You're awesome. Vows is a band I love a lot. I love that they're in this photography space with the Godfather poster behind them. Vows' new album is killer. Definitely going to factor into my top 20, 25 albums of the year. They just announced a big tour of Europe. They're opening for King Dracula also, but they announced headline dates, which they haven't done in a while. Also, Bad Omens dropped a new single. They're about to kick off basically an 8-month world tour, hitting everywhere. New single from them. Fun band if you like the metallic, metalcore, screamy, swoopy hair people. Oops, my bad. Too fast. Too fast for love. Forbidden, one of my favorite thrash bands of all time, right here in the backyard here of San Francisco. I'm an East Coaster at heart, and all my friends are absolutely sick of me talking about Forbidden. Forbidden is a new album coming out next year. They dropped a new single. They have a new singer, as Russ Anderson is retired from music. And Shuey Mongrain of Voivod was filling in on guitar for them as like the new permanent guitar player, but it was just kind of too hard for him. Voivod is still so vital and busy and always working on stuff and always planning things. Q is here. What's up, Q? Love you. Good to see you. So they announced that Jeremy Van Epp, who filled in at Aftershock, which I did not get to go to, sadly, is now their permanent new guitarist. They love Chewy. He wrote some songs with them that'll be on the new album, maybe even did some solos. And Jeremy's a killer thrash metal guitarist, and he can even play death metal and stuff like that. So I'm very hyped for a new Forbidden album. A lot of new thrash next year. Anthrax, Overkill, Megadeth, Forbidden, Sacred Reich, all new albums next year. I'm so pumped. This is like our most viral story on social media this week. This is Cam Heatcock, of formerly of American Head Charge. That band is broken up. He was profiled by the YouTube channel and acclaimed book photography series, Soft White Underbelly, about like, just the parts of life that people don't see. Piercing Metal is here, my buddy. What's up, buddy? I dropped that little nugget of news you dropped on me before about the drummer that passed away, Ken. Thank you for that tip. But yeah, this story is just heartbreaking. He's profiled for like 45 minutes. He lives on Skid Row in LA. He's homeless. He's on drugs. And he has like no hope of ever getting better, which is just terribly sad. I love me some American Head Charge, like a very underrated band from 25 years ago. Ozfest 2001 opened for Slayer and Slipknot and Kitty and Mudvayne. And they were kind of like new metal, sort of modern metal. Sort of one step into new metal and one step into regular metal. And I, like a Pantera maybe or a Seven Dust and Machine Head. And I really like them. So this is a really sad. If you want to go to our website, we've got the story and it's on our socials too. And in our link tree. You wish Chewy would bring back Martyr, but you love his work with Voivod. I agree. I feel like Martyr needs to have another life. Maybe if Voivod ever goes on a hiatus or starts to slow down. Those guys are not getting any younger. They're all like 60 years old. I love Chewy. I've interviewed him. He's wonderful. We nerded out about progressive rock. Monster Magnet. Boy, we haven't heard much from these guys in about 2-3 years. Monster Magnet, I know they had canceled the tour they were on in 2024. Dave Windorf is very ill. He's had like long-term side effects from hyperthyroidism. And the story is he's not doing too well, but there is a massive Monster Magnet box set coming out. And I'm very interested in getting this. I put some feelers out to get it sent to me. All their basically Monster Magnet 1993 to 2018 of all their records. So I'm here for it. Great band, classic band. I know they had one of their founding members had died last year. If that band is done and they can never come back again, I'll be glad I saw them a few times. Fantastic band. All right, we're almost done here. Going back to my hometown in the hardcore scene, District 9 was a band that I grew up idolizing when I lived in New York City. And, we should do Monster Magnet vinyl. Looks dope as fuck, and I hope you do a Glacially musical on them. We should. We just finished Alice in Chains. We're starting a new series on Queensryche, much to Nick Cameron's chagrin. But Don loves them. Don's going to lead that series. We haven't done black metal. That was talked about today. We'd like to do some more rap, much bigger than Beastie Boys, like true rap bands or a rap series. Even like maybe the best of West Coast rap or an East Coast rap series. I would like to do Monster Magnet or Caius or Sleep or High on Fire. Nick likes some of those bands. I think they don't know Caius as well. Anyway, District 9 is a band from the old New York City hardcore and metal scene in the 90s. And Mike District 9 had a heart attack recently, and he is in hospice care in New York City. And it's not sounding too great. I'm super sad to hear this is a band that everybody in my scene looked up to. He had integrity, talent, killer band. They opened for huge bands. Yeah, I love Caius Rubber Band. Love them. So we're just hopefully, if we get more news about Mike 9, we'll let you know. Spirit Box has teamed up with the clothing brand The Pretty Cult for a merch drop right in time for Black Friday. We'll be doing a Black Friday gift guide. I might be doing a Record Store Day Black Friday preview of some records that were sent to me already. Depends on when I get the rest of them. Not a great Record Store Day Black Friday this year, but there's some things I'm interested in. Like I said, I will try to get out to a record store near me and check it out. I love this meme unashamedly because I think Varg is a penis, and I never thought Burzum was good in the first place. But this is great. Porn creates the unrealistic expectations, like dudes in Burzum shirts getting laid. I think that was the funniest part of that movie. I don't want to spoil it for anybody if you haven't seen Lords of Chaos. The book is better. The book is more accurate than the movie, but I thought the book was solid. The movie was good. Jonas Åkerlund has done a lot of good movies and directed a lot of music videos for Metallica and stuff like that. All right. Let us go through the new Music Friday. And to be honest, last week I tried something new, and it didn't work too well. But what I'm going to try to do today is pull up one band that has a record coming out. And here's a good band. Let's see what this is. Let's just see what happens when I do this. So here is some Depravity from Australia. Bestial Possession full album stream from the label Transcending Obscurity. Let's check out a little of it. That's about all I can do, because if I do any more than that, I'm going to lose it. That was great, though. Transcending Obscurity is an awesome record label that we do a lot of stuff with. So here's your New Music Friday. And I'm just going to run through the list really quick. New Music Friday this week. Next week is Record Store Day, Black Friday. Aerosmith and Youngblood collab EP. I know there's a cover on there. Youngblood, kind of dropped out of his whole world tour because of exhaustion and illness. Youngblood, Aerosmith, One More Time EP. Airbag, Dysphoria live in the Netherlands on Charisma Records. Annie's Okay, Abyss on the final chapter on a Rising Empire Records. That's for some metalcore. Best Eagle, Sorceress EP for some stoner rock on Golden Robot Records. Bloodbound, Field of Swords on Napalm Records if you like power metal. Born of Plagues, Dead Endings, self-released. Calcraft, Reborn Through the Torture on Life Force Records for some death metal. Creed, The Best of Creed on Craft Recordings. Danko Jones, Leo Rising, great band. That's Perception Music on RPM Wars rock label. We might have a Danko Jones interview coming soon. Deadhead, Repression Tank on Hammerheart Records, Def Leppard, Diamond Star, Halo live from Sheffield, Mercury Records. That was Depravity, I played a little of. Bestial Possession on Transcending Obscurity Records. Dome Runner World Panopticon on Smart Records for some black metal. Gasket, self-titled LP, final debut LP finally of this band has had a lot of hardcore EPs on Blue Grape Music, same label as Code Orange. Halo Effect, We Are Shadows EP on Nuclear Blast Records. Kill Ritual, In My Head, Massacre Records. A few more. Morbicon, that's the death metal side project of Landfill from Municipal Waste. Lost Within the Astral Crypts on Tank Crimes Records. I'm getting that one. Let's see. The Pretty Wild, 0 Point Genesis on Sumerian Records for some rock. Sainted Sinners, High on Fire, the album on Rip Roar Records. Say that 5 times fast. Shores of Null and Convocations, Latitudes of Sorrow Split, Everlasting Spew Records for some great death metal. Stealth Arcade, Play EP on Lab Records. Slaughter Day, Terrified EP on Testimony Records. Spotlights, Rarities on Ipecac Recordings. I'm getting that sent to me. Great band. Was a big fan of their last one. Let's see. Tokyo Blade, Beware the Blade, Classic Rare and Unleashed 83 to 2025 on Dissonance Records. Dissonance Records is a lot of death metal and also classic heavy metal reissues. Weft, which is a side band of the band Panopticon. The Splintered Ore on Bindurn Records. Various artists, Cult and Culture podcast compilation. I mentioned that earlier for their record release show. When Nothing Remains, Echoes of Eternal Night on the Circle Records. Winds of Neptune, self-titled on Small Stone Records. And finally, Wolftooth, Wizard's Light on Ripple Music for some doom. I am skipping over the mailbag because I got to go. And that's our show. In a very manageable 47 minutes. Sorry I couldn't hear anything. I still can't quite get it right, can I? God damn it. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Q, Stormland, Rubber Band Man, Ken Pierce. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you all for being here and hanging out with us another week. Reminder, I'm going to go live Wednesday afternoon at probably 2, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 p.m. If you're getting out of work early, you should be home or hanging out or something. Have a great weekend. Don't drink and drive. Protect your trans homies. And as I say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So stay as metal as humanly possible and take care of each other. I'm going to dance a jig on the way out home. Peace, everybody.